Good morning. Going for City Drive. I think. This time I'm actually driving into town. Hope everyone's having a lovely day. Back here in the U.S., which is, I guess, everywhere. We just celebrated Mother's Day yesterday. Shout out to all the moms out there. Making a turn on what we call the most dangerous highway in North America, which is very telling about driving in Philadelphia in general, because there are so many major freeways, highways throughout the continental United States, even some of the stretches of highway in some very rural parts of Alaska. But Roosevelt Boulevard is prone to accidents on a daily, and I think there was a survey that was done probably about several years ago, and each and every year there were two huge intersections within, I don't even think they're 2 miles apart, where they were just considered the worst stretches of highway, or I should say the worst intersections of all roads in North America. And they were all along the Roosevelt Boulevard, which is this stretch of highway that I'm actually driving on right now. So this is the Roosevelt Boulevard, and it actually extends and turns into the Roosevelt Expressway, which then connects onto the Schuylkill Expressway, which grants you the opportunity of driving southbound into Center City, Philadelphia, and also goes out towards the northern suburbs, out past King of Prussia, Norristown area, Plymouth Meeting, Conshohocken, Bala Cynwyd. So so this is like the connection from parts in North Philly and Northeast Philly that enable us to actually be connected to those other points of interest in those other cities. Between 5:30. About 5:30 to probably 8:30, 9 o'clock. This is jam-packed. It's Monday. It's 9:10 in the morning. It's not as bad as it usually is. Tried to record footage from the car last week. It just kept falling over. So there's no guarantee this won't do the same thing, which is surprising because it's much bigger. But it's a little bit more based at the base of the magnetic holder. And I think that's the problem right there, is like I gotta get something that's a little bit more durable, especially for vibration. sit back. Hopefully it's a therapeutic drive for all of us. If I see any interesting tidbits of things to talk about, I'll bring them up. Rush to get nowhere. Drivers in this city, in this general area, I should say, it's not necessarily just Philly, it's just so aggressive. We're all going the same area. We're going in the same direction. You're not going to get there much faster. Look, the guy was in a rush on my rear end. Look, I just passed him on the right. People are in a rush to absolutely get nowhere. Calm down. Drive the speed limit. Drive safe. You'll get there. 9 times out of 10, when you're actually just doing the regular speed limit, you end up passing all these cars that are actually zooming by and zigzagging. They're the ones that actually cause the higher insurance rates for everyone else. Bunch of crumb bums. So right here we're going over the merge. You see, that's traffic that's coming from downtown Philly on the left. And now we have the opportunity to have access to going west into Valley Forge area, and or going east into Center City, Philadelphia. One of these trip rides, I'm going to, I think either this week or next week, I'm going to Valley Forge Park for a hike solo. I'll bring my Android then and actually capture that footage. Oh, look at that. Oh, this is normal Philadelphia. Let's get over. There's probably an accident that actually happened here. Maybe you guys will see something exciting today. But 9 times out of 10, it's just people can't drive. So Philadelphia is one of the oldest cities in the United States, and this stretch of highway was just never built. When the concept for this was actually designed and scoped out, it was never actually designed or thought of for this type of traffic. And I think that's the big problem with a lot of the older cities on the East Coast, more so on the East Coast than you see out west, is that the roads just here are so antiquated and small and condensed that when you travel the United States. If you go out west, just for example, I love Vegas, in the Vegas area. But when you get out into Las Vegas, or even there's parts of Los Angeles, which LA is just overcrowded. But like if you go out to Nevada and you travel out there, the stretches of highway are just so much wider and have so much depth that it is a pleasure to actually rent and drive a vehicle out. Whenever I go to Vegas, I'll rent a car for a day. And Vegas is really nice, where everything's within a general close proximity. But if you want to get out to go see like the Hoover Dam, I took my wife out there a couple of years ago, and we experienced that. But we were driving out through the middle of the desert, and it was like 8 large lengths going in each direction. Even when you were actually coming back into the Fremont area, downtown Las Vegas, the stretches of highway was just a pleasure to drive out there. There's some parts of Florida, like I visit Florida multiple times a year, and the stretches of highway there are a little bit better. But like, there's just roads like I made the mistake of driving into New York when I visited New York as an young adult, 25, 30 years ago, that I learned the very first trip into New York, I'm never driving into New York City ever again. And I haven't. I live in Philadelphia. This is the Philadelphia area, and I'm in such close proximity to New York that you can hop on a train, you can take the express train, and you can actually be in New York in less than an hour. And you're right in the thick of it all, getting off at Penn Station. Yeah, but these roads were just not built to withstand, I should say, the amount of traffic that we get into the city. And then, case in point, you'll see a lot of people. In the past, it was like, people thought, people carpool into work. Nobody does that. Maybe people were doing it pre-COVID, but nobody. I'm looking at every one of these vehicles, including my own. Everyone drives themselves in the city. Everyone drives into the city, and then the cost of parking in a metropolis city like Philadelphia or the other big cities, like when I drove into New York, we're talking about 25, 30 years ago, and I parked in the Millennium Hotel, which was previously located right across from the World Trade Center. And I was like 25, 30 years ago, I remember it was like $65 for the whole day. And I'm like, you gotta be kidding me. That was a lot of money back then. I think it's a lot of money now. But like a cost of parking in Center City, Philadelphia, depending if you actually get there early. Some of the lots actually have early bird specials, but a good majority of those are over by 8 o'clock in the morning. And then by 9 o'clock, most of the garages are full. I apologize for my sniffles. I'm fighting my allergies this week. We didn't get the April showers this year, and we're supposed to be getting showers later this week, so I'm hoping it actually helps clear some of this pollen that's all over these cars. Like this Porsche in front of me, beautiful car, but that's all pollen on his car. My car the same. So I'm driving eastbound into Center City, Philadelphia. I consider it south, but I guess it's east because we're driving in a direction that actually takes us. It's like we're pointing towards going into New Jersey. But we're driving on the Schuylkill Expressway that its parts through the city go through a part of what's considered one of the largest inner city parks in the world, Fairmount Park. And Fairmount Park is just massive. But Schuylkill Expressway actually goes the length of the park. It's full of so many different hiking trails, bike trails. This week we actually have the largest regatta that's actually taking place in the river. And I think it's going to actually, they're going to close, well, not this stretch of highway, but they're going to close the, alongside the Schuylkill Expressway on both sides of the river. Because this river, this stretch of highway is actually adjacent to the river, but you can't see it from this angle. When we get a little bit closer, you'll be able to see it on the left-hand side of the river, which is the, pretty sure it's the Delaware River that extends into the Schuylkill River. And if I got that wrong after living in the city all my life, I should have my historic card removed. Lots of things to see and do. I'm thinking about actually taking my bike and recording some footage on Bike Ride, and see how that actually transcends into uploading it. Well, we were making good traffic until we got on here. I was actually going to drive through inner city Philadelphia, but not sure everybody on here wanted to actually have the Puerto Rican experience, actually going through North Philly. I think if you watch one of my previous car ride posting, that actually a good majority of that was driving through North Philly, and some parts actually right on the outskirts of what we call the Badlands, where it's just a little sketchy. Some of the people within that general vicinity. About another mile on the right hand side, if we were to exit there, it's America's first zoo, the Philadelphia Zoo, which I haven't been to the zoo since my kids were kids. My kids have not been kids in a very long time. But the zoo is actually a nice size. Being the first zoo in America, it's not as big as the other zoos. Case in point, like if you were to actually compare Philadelphia Zoo to San Diego Zoo, there's no comparisons. San Diego Zoo is probably one of the best zoos, not necessarily in America, but probably in the world. It's just that massive and just so well thought out when they actually designed and built it. Philly's just so old, but it's really nice. You only need a couple hours there, depending on the traffic and how many people are actually there the day you're there. You can see everything in an afternoon. The big controversy with Philly zoos is about in the early 2000s. It might have been like probably '06, '07, '08. The big controversy is they took the elephants out from the habitat that we had here because it was deemed inhumane or unsatisfactory for elephants, because the enclosure was just so they considered it to be small, and those elephants were actually moved to, I believe, the elephants went to Ohio. Their habitat was pretty big. Now, in order for anyone in the Philadelphia area to actually be able to actually see elephants, we have to actually drive about 60 miles north in central Jersey. We have a theme park, Six Flags Great Adventure, that also has a wild safari, which is rumored to be the largest drive-through safari outside of Africa. And they have elephants there. I went into a heated debate with one of my family members about a week or so ago, because we drove by the zoo. We were talking about the elephants. And the fact that the elephants were gone. I was like, well, they're not too far. You can actually just drive up to Six Flags and see the elephants. And they were like, oh, I was like, I even had pictures on our last trip to Six Flags, was probably like 10 years ago. We had pictures of the elephants. Oh, yeah, that's right. Anyway, I won that argument. So, we've been on here for what, 3 miles now? I don't see any accident. It's just, the drivers in this area are the worst in North America, period. Especially Jersey drivers. Yeah, I said it. More specifically, South Jersey drivers. Oh, they're the worst. I can say that. I've lived in this area my entire life. South Jersey drivers are some of the worst drivers I've ever seen. I'm always in Delaware. Delaware drivers are actually pretty decent. My son lives down there. My oldest son, he's always complaining about them. I was like, I don't know what you're talking about. Better than being back home in Philly, which he did agree. But I guess he's biased since he's a Delaware native now. I do see something's up ahead. Oh yeah, I do see a moving. It looks like it's a moving PennDOT, or it's either. Oh yeah, there's something stuck up here. It looks like it's a big rig too. But here's the thing: it's just people slow down just to see what's going on instead of just move along. Just keep going, move along. No. What's going on? What happened? Oh my God, what happened? Did somebody get killed here? Just go. It looks like it's just the truck broke down. Some of us have jobs, lives. Gotta be newsy. Once we get past this truck, you'll see the miles per hour on all of these vehicles just skyrocket. Ka-cha! Thanks for joining me. We got this Volkswagen Creed in a rush to nowhere. Pick a lane. So over on the right-hand side is the Philadelphia Museum of Art. Beautiful building if you ever visit Philadelphia or you're familiar with the area. Get familiar with it. Visit Philly. I consider Philadelphia home. I love Philadelphia. I complain about it all the time, but world champions this year. Again. They haven't put LED lighting down here yet. And it's so dark. I mean, it's bright outside. Great thing about the Schuylkill Expressway, now we're on the Vine Street Expressway. This actually connects us to 95, north and south, and then it also allows you to actually cross into New Jersey on the bridges. If we're gonna go straight, it would take us straight to the Benjamin Franklin Bridge. Got in right behind me, said he decided he wanted to merge lead. Unless he decided to actually go this way. Yeah, looks like that's what he did. Hey, it's the Atlas driver. No, that's not the same one. I was going to say that. The one that was rushing and zigzagging and still here. It's not the same corner. So now we're actually in the historic part of Philadelphia. National Constitution Center is coming up here on our left-hand side. So on the left is the National Constitution Center, and then directly in front of it is the Liberty Bell and Independence Hall. I work right overlooking the Liberty Bell. I'll be ending the video shortly, in the next few seconds here, once I pull into the general area. For a beautiful Monday morning. The temperature is currently 73 degrees outside. I would think there would be more people out here. I'll be careful what I wish for. Let's enjoy it for what it is right now. Sure, just crossing the middle of the street. Alright, everyone. I'm going to be ending the video right here. Everyone have a wonderful day. Be good to each other.